Hello learners, in this lecture we will take this particular plan and we'll try to do the column location, and after that we'll try to do the entire modeling of this particular building. Now this is a client requirement, that is you want to construct a hostel building, something like this. This is a plan what I have, and we have a G+2 building. It's a ground floor plan here. We have first floor plan, we have a second floor, then we have a small terrace portion here, right? So let's look at the plan first. This is how the plan is given. From here you are going to make the entrance. You have a staircase here, and these are the various, this is a dining room, then we have a toilet blocks, then we have a room here, a warden room here, and this is a surrounding corridor is what we have. So it's a G+2 building. I'll be showing you the elevation view of this as well. So this is how it looks. Like you'll be having a ground floor, you have a first floor, a second floor, and the terrace portion. Then you have a small headroom, this portion, right? And if you want to find it in from the elevation point of view, that is a front elevation, this is how it looks. You have this ground floor, first floor, second floor, and that a small parapet portion is what you have there. Yeah. So first what we are going to do is we'll try to size the column. We'll try to see what is the best place to place the column, and then we'll try to go ahead with this. So looking at the plan, it's a G+2. I feel a 9" by 12" column is sufficient. I'm just guessing it, I'm not sure. That is a 230 by 300 column is sufficient. So we'll try to do something like that. So what I'm going to do, looking at the plan, I'll decide I'll go with 230 by 300 as the size of my column. So I'll go to this line option, and I'll try to draw 230 by 300 size of a column. So what I'm going to do, take a line option, click here, specify the first point, go to this orthogonal option, right? So we'll write 230, and then this depends on you. You can do the way you want. You can even make use of a rectangular command. I'm making use of a line command, and again 230, and again it is a 300 and hit enter. Yeah, so my column is ready here. So once the column is ready, I'll do a hatching for this. If you want to make some other size of a column, make it as like 9" by 15". That also you can do if you're interested. Then I'll go to this hatch button, and I'll go for this boundary, right? Not the boundary, hatching option. Yeah, I'll click on this, right? So a white color has come. That is okay. Now what I can do, if you want, you can try to change the color of this. What you have to do, click on this and right click on your mouse, and then you go to this option called properties, and from here you can change the color, whichever color you want. I'll go with a green color, right? Yeah, and now let me try to make this as a single group. So I'll click on all the lines that I've created, and then I'll click on that block, right? And right click on your mouse and go to this option called group, and then you group it, right? Once these things are done, drag it in this way, right click here and say copy selection, and then click on this particular option here, and from here you drag it, and now decide where you want to keep the columns. So the basic understanding of placing of a column is that wherever you have corners, right, there you need to put first. So what I'm going to do, we'll not try to get into the orientation now, just try to place a column wherever it is required, and later we'll think of the orientation. I'll keep it here. Yeah, bring it close to that and keep on this point. This is one column. Similarly, I'll try to keep it somewhere here. Yeah, wherever we have these T junctions and all, no, try to keep it there, and make sure the spacing is somewhere close to 5 to 6 meter. 5 meter is also okay. Try to keep there. Yeah, okay, 2 is done. Then see, again this is actually 7.215 meters. So if I keep a column here, that is okay, but what will happen, the span will increase, then the length of the beam is also increasing. If the length of the beam increases, then the depth of the beam requirement also will increase. So what I'm going to do, for time being, I'll place one column here, right? And then at corner I'll place one more column. You don't have to place another column here. Even though it's a T junction, you're not going to place it at a very shorter distance. Try to keep it at the corner as well. So in this corner, try to keep one more column. Yeah, so it is done, right? Now what has happened? Everywhere we have kept the column, but you concentrate from this column to this column. The length is almost 7 meter. 7 meter in the sense it comes out to be 21 feet. So generally we don't go with that distance. What you can do is you can keep one more column somewhere in between. So what I'm going to do, I'll place a column somewhere in between these two. So let us choose this particular point. Yeah, this is okay. I'll keep it here, right? Yeah, this looks good. Similarly, now try to place the columns in other directions as well. Now I can keep a column here as well, but again the problem is that this is 3.7 and this is 3. 3 plus 3 comes out to be 6.77 feet, 77 meter. So I don't go with that. So I'll keep a column somewhere at this junction, that is another T junction. Let me keep it here. This is okay. I will keep it here. Yeah, so next column I'm gonna keep somewhere here. This is also okay. I'll place it here. So here it is not required. It's a very short distance what I have. So 2 plus 2 is 4.8 meters. So here it is okay. Try to keep it in the same direction. Wherever you have kept it here, try to bring it and try to align it here, right? Yeah, then again we don't require a column here. We'll try to adjust that. We can keep one more column here. I'll keep a column here. So what I can do is try to drag it in this way. Yeah, yeah, and then I'll try to keep one more column here at this junction. Yeah, but there's slight variation in the placement what we have done. I'll delete this. I'll take this, the copy selection, click on this, click on this 90-degree. Exactly, it will come at 90-degree and place it here wherever it is required. Yeah, right. Next we can place our column here. I'll place it here. Then again I can place a column here. Yeah, then again we require a column here, right? Because exactly at this particular point I require a column. So I'll place one column here. Exactly, try to keep it here. Yeah, it's a small mistake. I'll try to delete this. The other way is that you can select this column and say copy selection, and click on this 90-degree exactly. Bring it. So you can bring it straight from there and try to keep it here. This is that place where I require. Keep it exactly here, right? Yeah. So I place a column there. So again I need to place a column at this position and at this position. What you can do is select this column, copy selection, try to move it from here only, keep it at this point. Similarly, bring a column and keep at this point, right? Yeah, so most of the places we have placed a column. Now again this corner I want a column. I want a column here, then I need a column here and here. I need a column here, I need a column here, then I require a column here, I require a column here, a column here and here and here, right? So again what I'm going to do, again we'll select a column and select a column from here, copy selection, pick a point from here. You can take the center here, bring it. So we'll try to place a column here now. I'll place it here. Then again I'll place a column here as well. Then again I'll place a column here as well. and then I require a column here. So instead of picking it every time, what you can do is, the simple option is that, see, click on this particular column and say copy selection and click on this point. And now what you can do, click on this orthogonal off, orthogonal on, and directly wherever you require, no, straight in the 90 degree it's gonna come. It will not go here and there, and exactly keep it here. So it will be easy. And again, I require a column here, right? I'll place it here, right? Yeah, done. Next, again, what we can do, again, I require a column here. I'll place a column here. I'll place a column here. Yeah, now I'll click this particular column. I'll say copy selection and select this point, any point you can select. And now I'll say this 90 degree, and then straight I'll drag it from there. So at this junction I require a column, so I'll place it here at this junction. Then again I require a column at which point, again I require a column at this point. Okay, so this is creating a offset here, right? So the better option is that I need to take it back, because if I keep a column here, anyhow for time being we'll try to keep it. If I'm keeping the column here, no, if I'm trying to keep a column here, it's creating offset, which is not a good thing, and the architect will not allow this to happen. I'll keep it here for, okay, it's not allowing me to keep the column here. Yeah, you can see I placed a column, but what has happened, this has created offset. But actually the thing is, I always want my column and my wall to be offsetted. So we'll try to do that arrangement later. First we'll try to place some columns, that's it. And then I require a column here, a column here. Then I require a column here, 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 and here. So what I'm going to do, I'll pick a column again, select this column, I'll say copy selection, I'll drag it from here, and let me quickly draw the columns here. Yeah, I'll place one column here at this point, and then one column at this point. Yeah, right. So then I require column here at this point, and then I require one more column at this point, and then I require one more column at this point, yeah, and then I require a column at this point. Wherever we have staircase, make sure the staircase is supported on all four columns. That is the reason this is a staircase, these two columns are supported. And again I'll try to keep one more column here, and next to that I'll place one more column here, exactly at that. So the better option is that click on this column, say copy selection, and click from here, and now you pick that 90 degree, and exactly at that point we are gonna get that. Yeah, so I think the basic planning has been done by us. You have placed the column wherever it is required. So once you have placed a column in the ground floor, what you need to do, you have to copy the same columns and try to place it in the first floor and also in the second floor, and make sure that it is not creating any offset anywhere. But since this is a commercial building, a hostel building, even if it creates a small offset, it doesn't matter, since it's not a house plan. So what we are going to do, I'll click on this and I'll say select similar. Okay, should have, okay, we did a mistake. Actually we should have created a layer and done it, but it's okay, we'll try to pick it now. I tried selected that column, I selected this column as well, I selected this column, I selected this column. Select all the columns wherever you have placed it now. So it will take a time now. I'll pause the video a bit and I'll be back again. Yeah, I selected all the columns. So what I'm gonna do is I'll say copy selection, and then pick one reference point where it will be same for all the floors. Now in all the floor, I can select this particular point, and this is my point which is similar in all the floor. You can pick that also, or even you can pick this particular corner column, I mean the corner point. So I'll select this particular corner point, and this will be my base point. Click exactly to that, and from here you try to shift all your columns, and I'll pick it here, and exactly on this particular point you have to place it. I'll place it exactly on this, right? And after that again move from here and try to take it to the next floor as well. Again exactly try to place your columns here. Yeah, done. So now whatever columns we had in the ground floor, we have copied it to the first floor plan and second floor plan. Now try to see whatever columns you have placed there, whether it is creating any offset or not, right? So right now in this room, all the columns are flushed with the walls, so we don't have issue with this. Even here also it is good, but there is an offset created by this column, little offset here and a offset here. We'll try to address that later. Here we don't have any problem with the columns. Even here also we don't have problem. All are flushing with the walls. Here also we don't have problem. Here also we don't have problem. The problem is with this particular column, right? It's coming outside in the corridor portion. We have option to take it inside in this way, right? And similarly here also we don't have problem. Here also we don't have problem. So my first floor and second floor is same. So even in the second floor it will not create any problem. I hope everywhere the column locations, the orientation is fine, right? So only problem is with this particular column. So what we can do now since this particular column is creating a offset outside, we can try to orient this column in the other way around. What I'm trying to tell is that now instead of this column, what I'm going to do, I'll select this column. Okay, I'll take this column. I'll rotate one column in 90 degree. I'll select the column in this way, and I'll say arrow, that is rotate. Click here and select any point and try to rotate it in 90 degree. Yeah, you can see it here, right? This column has been rotated in this way. I select this column from here. I'll say copy selection, and I'll select on this point, and I'll drag the column from here. What I'm gonna do, I'll take that column and let me place that column here. Now what has happened, that offset what it was creating, no, it has gone inside the column itself. So I'll change the orientation of the column. Can you see the orientation of the column has been changed? Now there is no offset created. Similarly here also we have to do the same thing. We'll try to delete that column. I'll place this column, no issues. Place the column in this way, and then in the next drawing also try to place the column in this way. Then we'll try to delete that column. Yeah, it's proper. Yeah, okay, I'll delete this column first. So try to move this column from here. What we can do is we can try to move this a little bit. Yeah, now it's okay. And similarly here we have put two columns. We'll try to delete one column. We'll try to delete this column, and this column try to take it in this way. Yeah, now it is good. Yeah, similarly here the columns. Yeah, right. Now what has happened, it's good, it's not creating any offset. This is how we have put the column. So now the problem is that these two columns what we have here, right, these two columns what we have it here, it's creating a offset here. This is creating offset. The better option would have been we could have orient this in a horizontal way, right? What I'm trying to tell is, now what, let me orient that the other way around. What I could have done, I could have taken the orientation of this, and we'll say copy selection, and I'll click on this. I'll take the column from here, and we'll place the column in this way. We'll place a column in this way. Similarly, we'll place a column in this way, and whatever orientation I did before, right, I'll try to delete that. Delete, and I'll try to delete this. Now it is good. Yeah, because it's not creating any offset in the dining hall, so all your columns are getting flushed with the wall, so there is no issue with that, right? This is the right way to do. But what will happen, we know, we have seen from the basic orientation of the column, whichever is a longer span, right, there you need to keep your depth of your column. Let us say I have two columns. This is one column, which is in this way, and have another column in this way, right? Now look at this distance, right? Now this distance what we have, no, what is this distance? This is 7.215 is horizontal, this is vertical, so this is almost 7.0 meter, right? And this distance what we have from here to here, it's a very short distance, because if this distance is 7.215, half of that will come out to be 3.215, right? Now out of 7 meter and 3.215, which is a longer distance, the longer distance is 7 meter. That means the major moment will be acting in this direction. If the major moment is acting in this direction, if the major moment is acting in this direction, then we need a larger depth, right? So that means if a moment is acting in this direction, that means we require a larger depth to take care of that moment. So the larger depth is this one. So that means the orientation of the column should be in this direction. And if you're keeping your column in this direction, then only this much amount of depth is there to take care of that moment. But if you're orienting your column in this way, you have this much amount of depth, right, to take care of that moment. So even though architect point of view and from aesthetic point of view, this column looks good, it is getting flush with the wall, but from structural point of view, this column will not work out, because we are putting the load on the minor axis of the column. So the best practice is that you have to keep your column orientation in this way. You have to place the column orientation in this way. Then what will happen, even though it's a longer span, I mean this length is longer, the depth is parallel to that. This is the depth of that, and your length is also in this direction. So this length and the depth of your column is parallel to each other. As a result of that, what will happen, the major axis of your column is oriented along that larger span. As a result of that, it will take care of the, it will be capable of resisting the moment coming on that. So that is the reason what we are gonna do, we'll try to place the column like it was before. I'll say Control Z everywhere, and we'll place a column like it was before. I hope. Okay. Yeah, this was the orientation what we had, right? So this was the orientation. We are going to keep the same orientation. Other than that, everywhere we don't, any other point, we don't have any problem. The column orientations are good. Yeah, now look at this particular column orientation. We have kept it vertical, right? So if you want to place it horizontal, even then you can place this as horizontal. There is no issue with that, right? Because you have kept this as horizontal, this is vertical, and this is vertical. If you want to place this as horizontal, right, you can place it horizontal as well. There's no issue with that. But this column what you have placed, no, you cannot place this horizontal, because if you're placing this as horizontal, then it will create offset here. Then the staircase will have very less space, right? There will be obstruction created in the staircase. That is the reason we are not going to keep that. Similarly here as well, here also you have an option to orient your column in this way, or you have an option to orient your column in this way. There is no issue with that. But as far as possible, try to orient in one direction. What I'm trying to tell is, whenever you place a column, make sure at one particular point, let us say this line, your column is in same direction. Now here it is also vertical, here also it is vertical, here also it is vertical, here also it is vertical. So it's the right way of, it's a good way of doing. Don't try to do something like this, vertical, then one will be horizontal, then another is a vertical, and then another horizontal. Don't try to do that unless there is a need for that. If we have a chance to keep everything at a same orientation, either vertical or horizontal, try to do that. Here it is good. Similarly, look here, here also this is vertical, this is vertical, this is vertical, and this is vertical. This one is horizontal. You can make this vertical, but this will create a offset there, right? So that is the reason I made it as horizontal. And always try to align them in the same line. It's like if I try to cut this particular in this way, let me make use of this. Yeah, if I try to draw a center line through this, no, it has to pass, it has to cut symmetry. So see now what is happening, everywhere it is passing to the center of that. So it's a good way of placing a column. Don't try to place a column something like this, like your column is here, the next column will come something like this column will be here, this column will go down in this way, and this column will be something here. Don't try to do that. Make sure in one particular line they are intersecting at one particular line. Similarly, we'll try to go to the other place as well. Now coming to this point, here there are only two columns, we don't have issue with that. Now look at here, this is vertical, this is vertical, this is vertical, this is vertical, and they all are at the same line, so no issue with that. Similarly, look here, column vertical, 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 and vertical, and also they are in the same line, right? Let me do that. They are also in the same line, so this everything is in the same line. Okay, so no issue with that. Similarly, here also it is in the same line, so we don't have issue with that. And coming to the last column, here also they are in the same line, right? So in this way you have to place the column. Once you're placing the column in the ground floor, make sure you copy all those things in the first floor and second floor as well, and try to see whether they are creating any offset or not, right? Yeah, so the basic planning of my column is done. We have missed one thing. Since this is a corridor portion, this is open to sky, and here we require 4 circular column. That is a requirement by the client, that he require 1 2 3 4 circular columns. So we'll try to draw circular columns as well. Go to the circle option, right? And now specify one point, and let us say I'm making use of some 300 mm as a diameter of my column. So I'll click on 300. 300 mm is the radius of my column, not the diameter, and I'll say enter. So my circle is created. Now I'll go to this option called hatch, and here I'll try to click here. The moment you click here, so that hatch is created. And now if you want to change this color, you can right click there and go to properties, and here you can try to change the color from whichever you want. I'll go with the magenta color, right? And then try to group them if required. I'll group it in this way and right click, group the column. Yeah, so again I'll select here. So I'll select this from here, copy selection, pick it from here, and wherever it is required, right? We require it only in 4 point, that is at this point. I require one circular column here, one circular column here, another circular column here, and another circular column here, right? Similarly, I require circular columns here. I'll place one circular columns here, require one more here, require one more here, and I require one more here. Similarly, here also I require. Keep it exactly at the center point of that, and at this position. That's it. So everywhere we have placed a column, and this is how your final plan is going to look with all the location of the column. Now look at this particular column. You can keep this column horizontal also. I kept it vertical because this length is 5 meter and this length is 3.77. So since this is 5 meter, I place my column in this direction, which is parallel to the longer span. So everywhere that concept you need to keep in mind, unless there is a requirement of architecture, and based on that we have to do it. Now look at this particular thing. This is 5 meter and this is 4.65 meters. So the best way was to keep this column horizontal, right? Because since this was 5 meter, you can keep it as horizontal. So if you want to do that, you can try to do that as well. Instead of placing this as a vertical, place this horizontal, then place this as horizontal also. Then this also will be horizontal. These two you cannot make it as horizontal, let them be vertical only. You can do even that requirement also based on your plan. So as of now, I'll not try to change that. We'll try to make use of the same plan, and based on that, we'll try to create the grid line with the help of a 𝗕𝗏 software. Yeah. So I hope this is understood up to here. In the next lecture, we'll try to draw the grid lines and try to draw the same thing with the help of a 𝗕𝗏 software. We'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.